Desde el hondo cruzo de la patria se levanta el clamor popular, ya se anuncia la nueva alborada, todo Chile comienza a cantar, recordando el soldado valiente, cuyo ejemplo se hiciera inmortal. Enfrentemos primero la muerte, traicionar a la patria más. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Campesinos, soldados y obreros, la mujer de la patria también, estudiantes, empleados, mineros, cumpliremos con nuestro deber, sembraremos la tierra de gloria, socialista será el porvenir, todos juntos haremos la historia, a cumplir, a cumplir, a cumplir. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer.
So hello. Oh, my camera's turned. Can't see my. All right. Oh my god. By the way, um, we've gotten daylight savings time finally. You know, just oh god, I hate that time of year. You just basically anybody who lives on the far, this end of a time zone knows what I'm talking about. But essentially, for about a month, you have to put up with, basically at 4 p.m. the sun's going to go down. I mean, it's kind of crazy, and I'm pretty sure one or two people that might be viewing this in the future from Alaska are just laughing at such a coward little, such a weak little person. Oh, hey, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I moved up here from New Jersey 15 years ago, and really, um, believe it or not, even though, I mean, we're only about 300 miles away from it, it's 45 minutes of time difference. I'm trying to find my. Screw it. There you are, buddy. You and I get the spawner in there. We had a problem with the new controller. Well, it's not the controller. Here's the thing: is that we brought in finally a decent controller, and over the course of the time, some of the things needed to be upgraded with that controller, but we missed a few things. Primarily being swinging doors, which is kind of embarrassing, but better late than never, as the old song goes. And oh my goodness, I think this one might be overlapping and improperly sized. I mean, if that's the door to the bathroom, look at that. There's a good 1.5 inches of clearance between. So anyway, just scale it gently so it's proper. But yeah, we discovered, we could a lot of bugs. I mean, this particular bug made 45% of the game world basically inaccessible. That sucked. And very sorry that happened. But better late than never. All right. Let's see where. And by the way, I found this site. We have some trolls that are coming after us and like just flagging anything with any kind of music in it that's like is copyrighted material, and it's being taken down. I mean, I know this because we did dozens and dozens of streams with copyrighted material, and they never got taken down. But the last one, it got taken down by. There's this again weird Charlie Kirk troll. Anyway, yeah, it's this great search. Go this yeah, Drone FX. Here we go. And it's not AI. It's procedurally generated. There's a big difference between the two. Brian Eno, if anybody is familiar. If you're not familiar with Brian Eno, I guess you're like, I guess either musically ignorant or below a certain age. But yeah, he was. It's about creating. It's about approach to creating music where you're looking at the forest rather than individual trees, and it's kind of really cool. I really like. It's the kind of soundtrack that we wanted for Peace Island, and we have it to a certain extent. It's just that Richard made it a hell of a lot more complex than it needed to be. We're just gonna run that in the background, so we have now something other than just nothing. Make sure that our audio. Yeah, I've always been fascinated with procedurally generated music, generative music machines and stuff. Like, and when I say generative, I'm not talking about generative AI. The word generative was around before the advent, the curse of AI. So understand, two different things. I mean, Brian Eno did this one thing. It was like he calculated for the music to repeat, it would literally have to play for millions of years. And I really dig stuff like that, where you leave things up to chance. But I doubt anybody's watching. I'm just seeing if there are any, I'll just go over to it. Because for some reason, I'm not able to bring up the chat window on my OBS over here. Oh, there we go. All right. It's probably going to ask me, sign into your YouTube channel. Well, again, I'm assuming that people are watching this, and I never really should do that. Never really should. I mean, other than, again, the troll army that we had chasing us for the last 10 days, really, I'm used to maybe one or two people tuning into these. So. Come. There we are. Just going to run it and make sure that the cat can go boop, open the door. That's all we need to know. Because, unfortunately, the way the doors... we just suffered from this major problem from the very beginning. That we could not make the world function as it should until we had a player controller that functioned as it should. And goodness gracious, that was just, again, it's just such a long tale of misery and woe. Oh my goodness. Oh, the misery and woe. Oh, by the way, if we do have any the remaining right-wing lurkers here, we're self-appointed AI detectors. Please come in and let me know what here you think is AI. And by the way, while I believe the complaints about AI in games are legitimate, I guarantee you that some of the people that are complaining about the very small, getting less than 20 AI images in Peace Island, they are playing games right now that have AI run all the way through them, just riddled with it. And you know what? Those game studios never told them. And also, the thing that really clued me into what was going on was a discussion with this one person over on our Discord. and Carol. I'm not going to mention their real name because she deserves, we're already getting just bullshit. So they don't deserve to be getting bullshit either. But anyway, when one night I just was like discussing why are we getting so much flack for less than 20 images when literally there are hundreds of games on Steam that are 100% AI. And that was like, just like that little bit of that little spot of knowledge, the master's touching your forehead, and forget exactly what she said. It's like, yeah, I totally. We're having this problem with the Z's being seen through objects still. I thought I had solved that in a very long time ago. I just want to take a look. Sleepy Fine. Canvas. Let's just take a look at this here. I forget exactly what you do. You turn off. There we go. Maskable. I don't know how that was not set, but hey, I know I set this many moons ago, but hey, sometimes things get forgotten, it seems. But we can fix those one by one as we find them. Number one, I mean, again, eyes on target. Keep every day we wake up, it's like, oh my god, there's another thing that's absolutely humiliating that we messed up or forgot. But what you do, you just wake up, don't look at social media, and just focus on one thing at a time. Make the game better one step at a time. So fix those issues. Hey. Yeah. And by the way, all the right wing, here's it. I'm very sorry, but I cannot see any of this. I cannot see the vast majority of the anger and craziness that we've had to deal with over the last few weeks as organic. I can't claim it's all organic. Can't really say, oh yeah, this is all organic, because really, once you just look and you go, oh yeah, 4 of these people across 3 different platforms were all part of the same right wing forum. You just have to go, just something kind of crazy here, considering I don't think that a lot of people on like a neo-Nazi forum are going to be really interested in a game about cats on an island in Maine, unless maybe here's the I don't. To me, neo-Nazis are absolutely insane and stupid and morons, losers, incels, people that probably still wet their bed, never got laid in their life. I could go on for hours, but I don't think that they would be into a game like ours. Just saying. So I just had to go. I think there may have been a little bit of collusion afoot. Okay, something behind this. And again, I'm not saying that yeah, there's a hell of a lot to complain about in the game. Absolutely, and we are fixing it as best we can, non-stop. But one of the things again was really telling is that 3 of the people sent us this numbered list of everything that they had, all their complaints about the game. And they literally sent us the same list with the bugs in the exact same positions on the list. They were just basically copy pasting a list somebody else had produced. And dudes, guys, I'm old. I tend to ramble, and I forget, but I'm not stupid. I know how to use the internet, and I know how to use, Intellius and stuff like that. And these people, it's what's really, can I just tell you something that's really funny? During, the days after we basically figured out what was going on, I was just constantly trolling these people for not figuring out how to use a VPN. All of a sudden, on our Reddit, I started seeing countries like Pakistan and such that never showed up before. So here's the I think that out of that whole thing, I taught these people something and they learned. And I think in the end, I mean, hey, what I forget that there was like this, in Simple Gifts, there's a second verse. It's good to be teacher. It's better taught. I think I'd have to look that up. Yeah, actually, let me see. Why not? Because no one else is watching. Let's just see. Yeah, watching the news. Oh, goodness. Let me just say the only thing I'll say as American is it's absolutely humiliating to realize how much of a client state of Israel we are. But I mean, I think that Donald Trump really, he's like, I gotta be the biggest. I gotta be, everybody paying attention to me. He's got that narcissistic, just insecurity. I think he was really afraid that, you know, Putin's invasion of Ukraine would go down as like the worst idea of the first quarter of the 21st century. And so this whole like invasion of Iran is basic, unbelievable. Oh, by the way, I prefer D major. Yeah. Because what he's done now is the most absolute jackassery thing we'll do. And unlike other people, let me tell you, I'm going to just not do that obligatory, oh, yes, the Iranian government is absolutely horrible and blah, blah. No, what we are doing is wrong. And no, what Donald Trump is freaking doing is wrong on so many levels. And it's going to come back and hurt us on a generational level, just like the invasion of Iraq did. And I mean, the people out there that are going, oh, they're bringing freedom out there. The people, do you know? Every country that the United States has toppled has always found themselves with 4 times as much poverty afterwards. And I'm pretty sure they got freedom now. Oh, goodness. Freedom is only a freaking word when it comes to really, you can't feed yourself and your family. So that's what we're spreading over there. And it makes me angry. It makes me sad. But the one thing that I know for certain, just like everything else Donald Trump has done, it's going to be an abject hilarious. Well, no, well, I don't know, hilarious. It's going to be failure. I don't know how much. I mean, and I say hilarious because Karl Marx, for those who don't know, said, history repeats itself. First is tragedy, then is farce. And I think, this is the farce time, and it's just so absolutely stupid. And I know I'm going to be proven right. Because let me tell you, during the first Iraq War, the first time when George W. Bush wandered in there and started committing war crimes in a country halfway around the world, people were going, oh, you just don't know. Them people in about 10 years are going to have a better. No, I'm giving them a Southern accent, even though I know there are a lot of Southern people down south that are opposed to this and are intelligent. But honest to God, I swear to God, it's far more prevalent down there in red states. Come on, admit it, y'all. Is say them Iraqis, them Iranians, they're going to greet us as liberators. They're going. I mean, all we'll have to do is bomb them long enough, and then they'll start loving us. Then everything will turn out great. I mean, really, this is again the most stupid, unbelievable. Anyway, and it's where they're talking. Why do they call us great? They call us Great Satan. Yeah, it's because we were literally in negotiations with Iran over their nuclear program right before this all happened. They were negotiating with us when we attacked them. That, oh, yeah. Again, all you red state people who think you've read the Bible, great deceiver. I guarantee you, again, the average atheist in the United States, if you do not know, knows more Bible, verse and chapter than the average evangelical Christian. It just is true. I can't say I do, but I could say I know more than the average Christian in this country. Just saying. It's just so stupid. And I mean, it's when they're literally telling people, "Oh, this is going to be the Battle of Armageddon. It's going to bring the Jesus Christ back." Oh my goodness gracious! You do know this is all part of just like if anybody knew it, it's all from the Book of Revelation. And if you read the Book of Revelation and you understand the history of the times at which John the Revelator was writing, you understand exactly what he's talking about. He's describing Roman soldiers. He's describing anyway. And again, it's not gonna work, and it's not gonna be good. And again, Iran. Um, I mean, doesn't anybody remember how they were literally leveled? I mean, they were bombed back into the Stone Age during the Iran-Iraq War. They lost 3 million people, I think. And you think, I mean, you you think they're going to be accepting us and greeting us as liberators? The only people I've seen celebrating are like these third generation people whose parents left after the Islamic Revolution and are living here and have never been to Iran in their entire lives. And oh yeah, finally we can go back. Oh yeah, you fat asses who just like left and didn't help build the country after this. Oh, something. Oh, I can get. It does not matter whether Iran had a tyrannical government or not. Oh, they're killing people. I mean, come on. They're killing protesters in the street. Mic drop. Come on. Oh, they're not doing it. We're not doing it as bad as the Iranians. That's the level we're at right now. That's the level. My goodness. And there are still again these people are like, oh yeah, let's roll, man, let's roll, let's go and get them people. They will not be able to stand up to the greatness of the American. Each one of these guys, probably if number one, never put on a uniform. Number two, if you ask them to actually like run a quarter of a mile, much less a quarter of a mile with a full combat pack, they would have a coronary, or they would just go, I can't do that. I got the hypertension and the diabetes. Like just about everybody down south. That's a really funny thing about the movie Greenland. I mean, it takes place all south of the Mason Dixon line, pretty much. Well, most of it does, and they're like, yeah, their little boy needs insulin, and everybody they run into has diabetes. That's the way it is down in the former Confederacy, the Great South. And bless you. I mean, bless your hearts, you guys. Bless your heart. I grew up down there. I know what you're saying. Bless your hearts, but you're just not. Goodness gracious. I mean, the one thing again I'm concerned about. I said I predicted, and I still stand by this. This is not going to end or get better until there's literally a straight out famine in this country. There's going to be a famine. And I mean, we're already getting to the point that people are literally getting themselves into credit card debt just to keep themselves fed. And it's going to get worse. When this does break, I mean, I hope that again, that I guarantee again, Trump is going to send in ICE to try and disrupt the election. Because I mean, after this stupid goddamn war, I mean, you thought the Republicans were in trouble before. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's coming right now? Oh, you have no inkling. And here's one thing that I mean, I believe, understand Iran. A lot of Americans have this concept that Iran is something like Afghanistan or it's run by crazy mullahs. They're actually a majority of their country lived a first world lifestyle, and they were very sophisticated people. Donald Trump, they know Donald Trump wants nothing more than an attack in the United States of America so that he can state of emergency, no elections, and I don't think Iran is going to do it. But I totally trust Mossad to pull something like that off. I mean, if you think, oh, the guy he's talking about Mossad, he's just like this conspiracy theorist. Man, I've been watching John Kiriakou lately. That guy who like defected from the CIA. No, he didn't defect. He basically was a whistleblower about America, United States' torture program during the Iraq War. And yeah, Mossad is just like well, just a horrible, horrible organization. Just defending Israel. Must defend Israel at all costs. Israel at all costs. And here's the thing. I am really afraid. The thing that I am most afraid of in this country, I mean, I don't think that a majority of the people in this country could distinguish between Judaism and Israel. And if you do not understand this, let me put it this way. I am not Jewish, but if the most angry condemnation I have ever heard of Israel in my life came from Jewish people. A majority of people in this country have probably never, ever, to their knowledge, never met a Jewish person in their life. They may have, but I'm willing to bet the majority probably have never. They never have. I lived in New Jersey, right outside of New York, so heavens to Betsy. I met a lot of them, and let me tell you, I got some good friends there, and they got this one cousin, and he's just vehement. He's not, he's not Jewish. He married a Jewish woman, and he is just this knee jerk supporter of Israel. And he is just, because, at one time his wife left him. No. Let's not get into that. And I said, he was just, during the genocide in Gaza, and that was straight up the worst thing that I've seen, honest to God, since World War II. What they did is it was worse than what the Nazis did to Warsaw. And all the way through, he was like supporting these people. It's like, oh my goodness, you have no sympathy for the Jewish people. Eric, you don't have any understanding. I said, listen, Booby, next time I'm down in New York City, I'm going to invite you to come out to Upper Manhattan, it's 83rd Street. You're going to hang out with me and my Jewish. And you're going to hear things that they are saying about Israel that are going to make your hair stand up on end. If you think anything that I'm saying is oh my goodness, you ain't heard nothing. Oh, and by the way, the one thing what's really crazy is like, I was talking about the right wing crazies that just decided, hey, this is what we do. One of their crazier things that they did. This has been going on for months. One of them, they first accused me of being a Nazi because my grandfather, as far as I know, well, no, he did. He was called up at the very end of World War II, just like all German citizens were. I think he was an engineer. I'm still waiting for my mother to send me some more family documents to get the bottom of it. But here's the thing. They accused me of being a Nazi, but then they turned around and accused me of being a communist, which, hey, if you're not aware, I am a Marxist, straight up, unabashed. I am not ashamed to admit it. I'm a Marxist. I've been saying that for, Jesus Christ, for years now. And, I did do the convention graphics for the Communist Party USA's convention in 2014. Why? Dude, a very, very small number of artists have ever been able to do that job. To me, that was awesome to be able to do that. Did you do something for the Nazi Party? Absolutely not. Apples and oranges. There seems to be something wrong with the texture over here. I think. But I do want to test those two doors here, so I've got to bring our controller. And actually, if I had not done the convention graphics for the CPUSA's convention, I would have been caught unawares just like every other American. But when I was doing the images for the show, I was like, hey, what's your theme? Because as a graphic designer, you want to reflect the themes. And they said, hey, okay, here's our theme. We're thinking of breaking up because the United States of America is about to collapse into fascism. And I said, Well, goodness gracious me, you don't say. And yeah, they turned out to be correct. I mean, we're. I say we are straight. We are there. We are in a fascist state right now. But again, it all depends on us being able to vote these people out. There's some people who I know who voted for, well, no, they didn't vote, but they were like, oh, yeah, Trump is the anti war candidate. He's a peace candidate. I'll be right back. All righty. Got myself some snacks. Poop. All righty. And boop. All right, great. Things are great. By the way, Laura put this together. Where's my noise? Where's my it's just for some reason, this thing where you can turn it on to just keep on looping doesn't seem to work. Because it just shoves everything on one line, so you're just getting this long. Let's just play it and see. What happened? It's not going to play. Okay. I'm thinking this whole service might under development because it does seem to be a little bit janky, but it also might be Chrome. Because Chrome, I'm thinking of just switching over to Opera. I really am. Even though I know Opera is just, I know, but it's, God, it does have the memory. All right, radio station is good. Next is, nope, that has no doors in it. So Harbor Master, oh, I think it does actually. I guess not. Oh yeah, there's a bathroom. Sorry, there is one door. Also, another reason why I don't, support the Iran wars, because literally, it's because he just wants to. Donald Trump raped children, and he wants to cover that out. It's sad that thousands of people, including many Americans and many Israelis, are going to have to die because this guy raped children. And this again, the darkest timeline, they would say. Some people are like, "Oh, you didn't know the United States was a client state of Israel?" Oh, yeah, well, I knew. Oh, it is just so embarrassing, just so unbelievably embarrassing. Have you ever been to Israel? It's a beautiful country. No, I'm never gonna go to that country. During the genocide in Gaza, I was very close to just like basically putting a boycott on that country. We do have a few supporters in Israel, and I'm assuming that people who would be into a game about peace and kitty cats would not be exactly, Benjamin Netanyahu supporters. So, yeah. I wish I could get all these samples individually, just play them. Maybe I can. I can actually. I can separate them. Because there's some music in the game I've been wanting to replace. Yeah, lighting is bright in here. All right, great. Harbor, actually, Namaste Basement. I think we have gone through all interiors that are in the beta now. That's fantastic. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if you're not aware, if one of the reasons that we did not send, as many ships over, we sent a lot of ships, but not as many as we could. The United States military did like this test run, hypothetically, war game against Iran. They lost 19 ships plus that included 3 aircraft carriers, including that was 20,000 men that would be lost. But Iranians don't give a fuck. The last time that the United States came in there and ruined their country was under Mohammad Mossadegh, and they have seen what happened to every other country. I am more afraid of Israel than I am the United of Iran, straight up. Why they feel they. Okay. So these are all done. Apply the overrides. And I mean, one thing I'll say about Israel, I saw this one report about Israel doesn't have any left wing politics anymore. No, actually, they literally have members of the Communist Party in their Knesset, and they are anti-Zionist, anti-war, everything. And I mean, they're basically like AOC and oh, God, Ilhan Omar, yeah. We don't have any communists in our legislative part. Well, we have one Democratic Socialist. Unless you would count, I mean, AOC, I think she ran as a Democratic Socialist too. So maybe, hey, who knows what? Maybe things are sometime in the future we'll get things around. Again, look at this. Oh, okay, it started again. Cool. Ooh, that's not pleasant at all. It sounds like Boyd Rice in a way. If anybody's familiar with Boyd Rice. Okay. So we want to go into the main exterior again. Peace. Because there's one other thing we need to add. Apparently, it is not 4 a.m. when the kitty cats leave the house. There is something in the enviro that was always causing it to be in the middle of the freaking day when the cats left the kitty house at the very end. I'm going to fix that because we wanted it so that by the time the kitty cats, get around that first mission, the sun is starting to come up and it's like a new dawn. It was timed. And now, my goodness, I'm thinking I want to get myself some more snacks. But you don't want to be, subjected to the vision of meat. Let's see what. Oh, that's queuing up for. Oh, it's got some sort of like weird ambient sound, like somebody's like shuffling around in the background. I really love stuff like that. I want to have human voices, inside the music as well, just like notes here and there, in the art place, because I would like that to like, oh, I heard a human voice. Is a human here? Just to drive home that all humans are gone, and that's the story here. That's the story we're trying to tell. So, add. By the way, I think my sister, she went out, no judgment, Martha, if you're watching this, or anybody watching from my family in the future, but she, I believe, for a while, she was very popular. My sister, there was this big scrapbooking craze that was going around, amongst, amongst the population. And apparently my sister was, I mean, she, like everybody in our family, she is just very good at visual design, art, etc., creativity. I mean, everybody in our family is literally either a visual artist or a scientist. Literally, that's the way it is. But she went there to apparently to the West Bank or someplace like that to teach. Or maybe I'm wrong. But I know it was in Israel. Didn't ask her about her experiences out there. But I can't really see myself, really. I just really don't have an interest. I mean, really, jeez. Here's the thing. This video may be taken down because, the trolls are going, oh, he's playing copyrighted material. But there's this great there's this great rant by Harlan Ellison when he was asked to, just go YouTube. Harlan Ellison is my brother from another mother. My goodness, I love him to death. I mean, everybody say, "Oh, he's so arrogant." Yes, he is, because he was an excellent damn writer. Everything that he said about himself was 100% true. And I mean, and another thing people don't understand, most of his arrogance was an act. If you've seen him at a convention, there are sometimes when like one of his fans came up to him and said, I'm just one of your fans. And Harlan he would look up and literally take the person's hand and say, you're a valuable person. What are you saying? Don't ever say that about yourself. Now get out of here with your. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And by the way, if you're not familiar, Harlan Ellison is Jewish. So I'm gonna while I bring in. I think is I have to bring to make sure all of those interior fixes migrated. I have to go into the main scene, bring in those chunks, export them again. So while I'm doing that, we're going to listen to my good friend Harlan Ellison. Um, uh, by the way, if you're not familiar, they're one of the like big families that historical families on Peace Island is named the Ellison family. And yes, I named it after Harlan Ellison because he passed away. Um, it's gracious. Like I think in the first year that I was working on this project, and I wanted to give him, an homage. Yeah, let me turn this volume up. Let me turn my volume down so we can appreciate the true wisdom of my friend.
Last question, and I'll let you go. You've told me this before, but I don't think it's ever been printed. Your solution for Israel and the Middle East, please. Okay, here's the story. It's got to be 10 or 15 years ago when I get a call from the USIA, the U.S. Information Agency, the ones who do all the propaganda for the United States government. And they said, Mr. Ellison, we've had a request for you to come and lecture in Israel. As an American Jewish writer who is very popular, your works have been reprinted over there many times, they'd like you to come and lecture in Haifa at the university. So I said, yeah, that's all right. Now, in truth, I have about as much interest in going to Israel as I do in going to Germany, into which I have never set foot. That's one of the 3 or 4 things I'll never do. I did a list of things I will never do in my life. I will never do an ad for McDonald's. I will never step foot in Germany. I will never eat lima beans. I would never harm a child, and I will never voluntarily read a book by Judith Krantz. Those are 5 of the things that are uppermost in my life. So then when I say voluntarily, I mean if you put a gun to my head, I probably would read a book by Judith Krantz, but I wouldn't like it. As for lima beans, as I have often said, you show me someone who will eat a lima bean without a gun to the head, and I will show you a pervert. So get back to where I was. An entire nation of people who are like my relatives, a whole country of yentas and kvetches, is not my idea of a good time. Now, I would love to see Petra. I would love to see the pyramids of Egypt, but I really have no interest in going to Israel. But what the hell, free trip, and Susan and I would go, and we would do whatever, and maybe I would get to Petra while I'm there. So I say, sure, I could do that, and they're going to pay me a nice fee. First class, okay. About a week goes by, and USIA calls me again, and they said, they would like to do interviews with you prior to your arrival so they can warm the country up for your coming. And I said, that's terrific. And they said, well, the Jerusalem Post will be calling you, which is one of the biggest newspapers in the world. And I said, great. And thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to going and blah, 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 and all that bullshit. Now, I'm not going to exaggerate this. I'm going to tell us exactly as it happened. So one morning soon thereafter, as the crow flies, I get a call from a guy, and I can't remember what his name was, but let's call him Eliezer Ben Yehudi. And he calls and he says, hello, this is Eliezer Ben Yehudi, and I am the senior editorial reporter for the Jerusalem Post, and I would love to interview you. And I said, just fire away. And the first out of his mouth is, what do you, as an American Jew, think of the situation in the Middle East? And I said to him, well, why would you ask me that? I'm a writer. I write amusing little fantasies. I'm a professional liar. I'm not a political commentator. I don't know what your people are going through over there. I have no comment. I have no opinion. No, no, he says. We're anxious to hear what you think. And he nudges and pushes at me. Already I know I'm going to hate Israel. And he keeps saying, I want to know what you think. We want to know what you want. And he sounds like Jackie Mason. So I say, listen, trust me, you don't want my opinion. Yeah, he screams, we want your opinion. We're dying for your opinion. We're plotting to have your opinion. He goes on and on and on. He will not let me off the hook. So finally, I reach the Plimsoll line and I say, okay, but remember the old Chinese adage, be careful what you wish for because you might get it. And he goes, ha, 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 extremely clever. So, what is your opinion? And I said, here's my opinion. All of you guys out there in the Middle East are out of the same melting pot, and you're all as crazy as a butterfly on absinthe. I don't know whether you're all Canaanites at the base, or you're all Jews at the base, or out of the land of Nod, or whatever the hell you were at the get-go, Semites or whatnot. But you've been fighting there now for something like 8,000 years, and you've never had 5 minutes of quiet and peace. You're forever killing each other, and sticking knives at each other, and burning babies. And the world has had to suffer with this. Great things have come out of the Middle East. Great things like the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. But stupidity seems to be your chief export. Stupidity and violence are your cash crops. All you. And this was before September 11th. And I said, my solution to the problem in the Middle East is this. We erect a wall 26 miles high around the entire Middle East, about 14 miles deep. That's Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Israel, Egypt, all of you. The whole bunch of you. 26 miles high with one door, like a regular door in the front of a house. And every 10 years, we will open the door and look inside. If you're still fighting, we close the door, and as we say in Yiddish, lassen gehen, let be. You should live and be well. Go and fight and kill yourselves, and no one will interfere. But if we peek inside and it's safe, if it's nice and it's comfy, and there's flowers growing, if you're not fighting and you got peace and quiet, you can come out and play with the rest of us like human people. And the guy says, what? And I said, do you want me to repeat that? And he says, no, thank you very much. Bam! He hangs up on me. Within an hour, USIA calls up and says, tour's off. And I tell you, I was relieved. Being a tough Jew is like being a tough Oriental kid in an all-black neighborhood. It's like being an Irish kid in a Latino neighborhood. When you're an outsider, you got two choices. You either become a target for people to hit you, to bully you, and con you, to take advantage of you, and you wind up marrying people you shouldn't, and you wind up in a job you shouldn't have with people who bully you, or you get tough. Now, tough doesn't mean hard. I'm not a hard guy. I'm a tough guy. That means that I take no shit, and I'm wrong more often than I'm right, and when I am, I admit it. And that's another part of being a tough guy. When you're in the wrong, you got to face up to it, and you've got to take responsibility for it. You can't keep pushing it off with alibis on other people, and you can never blame the fact that you are a Jew. You can't play that card. That's what gets the goyim pissed at us. We just had a little fender bender up here in the mountain where I live, and I'm talking to the woman at AAA, and she starts talking about you people. She was a black woman, so she probably didn't know she was actually quoting the evil, bogus thoughts and philosophies of the bullshit protocols of the elders of Zion. But that's what she was doing. I tried to straighten her out, but it was impossible. It's widespread common lore that Jews own everything, to which my response is, well, if there is actually a great international Jewish money conspiracy, there's some Jew out there with 2 shares because I'm working my ass off. You gotta be able to accept.
Sorry. Anyway, he goes on and on. Ellison, champion of the working class. But yeah, he again, when anybody goes, oh my goodness, you can't criticize Israel. That's so anti-Semitic. I mean, oh my goodness, that's usually the phrase. Or I'm like, hey, meet me in Manhattan. We'll go visit my friends, and they can inform you, because they will say things as Jewish people that I simply am unable to say about Israel. So. Oh, and by the way, I mean, some people, I mean, there were the trolls out there. There are trolls who are just trying. I found out that they're literally just going. My God, they're just all over my name. They're trying to find anything. It's already just been coming out. Just going, hey, let me tell you, like it was with the people who are producing those game lists about like quote unquote woke games where we're trying to get ahead of the schedule, get ahead of of them by just submitting the game to it. It's good to be ahead of the game with these people. So I was just going, hey, what else do you want to know about me? What my life is an open book. It always has been. It's like, hey, goodness gracious. You want to know the time that I was in jail? Yeah, I was there 3 times. You want to talk about the DUIs I got? I got as many DUIs as George W. Bush, but 1 less than Dick Cheney. I was in drug rehab for about 16 months. I forget now. Goodness gracious. 1995 to 97, I believe. Yeah, I think that. Oh yeah, and I did the convention graphics for the Communist Party USA convention, and yeah, if I haven't, I was interviewed on Iranian state radio twice. Never on Israeli radio, strangely enough. They never got in touch. And here's what they wanted to interview me about: what do you, as an American citizen, for some reason, I'm giving them the same voice as the, Harlan Ellison's experience in the Jerusalem Post. What do you think, as an American citizen, about the war in Iraq? And I told, it is a catastrophic mistake. It is going to harm the United States of America and Iraq and many parts of the Middle East for generations. It has caused them generational harm. And strangely enough, I turned out to be right. And so that was my entire, communication with the Islamic Republic. And by the way, again, if like I said earlier, can't be angry at them for calling us the Great Satan when literally we attack them while they were negotiating in good faith. It's just so stupid. It is just so absolutely stupid. But anyway, let's see what we want to do here. We want to. Oh yeah, we want to place that object that will make sure that the kitty cat triggers the skybox to be at 4 a.m. as soon as that opens. So we want to go into 670. I'm here all alone. Oh gosh. The right wingers are just, they were literally, oh God, they gave up. Guys, you're such snowflakes. You're serious. Okay, I'm not going to challenge. I'm not going to be like, hey, is that all you got? Trust me, you guys did. You did your best. But here's the. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. All right, fantastic. What we want to do here is we want to create a collider that the cat, when the cat goes outside, they appear inside of. Now that one will automatically make absolutely sure that the clock, the day clock is set at, what is it, 4 a.m. Good. Because here, if you're not aware, that's where the kitty cat, when leave the house there, that is where you're going to show up. Why not right here? It was just not good for various reasons. It's all fine. So, oh yeah, from what I understand, Trump is right now understanding that there is no way out and he's really screwed himself. And the United States, and he's gone back, on a campaign promise, like he's not done that before. But he's basically realizing, oh my goodness, unless somebody puts a lid on this, basically, another reason this is happening is because, if you're not aware, Jeffrey Epstein was basically a contact agent for Assad. And they know that the Jeffrey Epstein files are being investigated. It's time. It's time to push our advantage, because after this point, we're going to lose it. It's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And by the way, if you want to know, oh, Eric is everything is on Mossad. Oh, he's a crazy conspiracy guy. I got that from John Kiriakou, the guy who worked for the CIA for like most of his life. If you have a problem with me saying, hey, I guess looking in the wrong direction. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he said something so anti-Semitic. Again, that usually comes from, again, the red staters who literally have never met a Jewish person in their entire lives. It's crazy. Did I say the only thing that I have against the Jewish people as a whole was I went to one of your Shabbat dinners or whatever, and you put raisins on the chicken. Don't get me. It was okay, but raisins on the chicken. Man, just thinking about it makes me feel my stomach rumble. I think I'm going to go have a fit of diarrhea, and I'll be right back. In the interim, I'll play some like another like droney song that I create. Oh my goodness! People are talking to me again. Let's see here. Boo ba doo ba doo ba doo. Yeah, gonna step out of the room again. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Our stuff. I want to apply that. Set. Trigger. Go. And I will adjust that as when I'm gonna play this. I'll be back. Now I have to. Oh well. Bring that down a bit. Yeah, I have to do this because for some reason, even though we have assiduously set, Enviro to be at 4 a.m. when the kitty cats leave the house, it still keeps on kicking them out, and it's bright daylight. This is something that unfortunately got removed earlier because this will, when the kitty exits the house for the first time, it will set time at 4 a.m. and then, extinguish itself. Let's see here. Sure, and I want to call this time setter. Okay. And for the time, oh yeah, these things. I don't know why these cone halves. Oh, the Fmod debug. We don't need that anymore. I don't think. Yeah, we don't need that. That's standby snails. Don't know what the standby snails. Turn off the renderer. Oops. Ow. All right, so we have a new global object, and we just need to export this. Or actually, we can go ahead and yeah, just to be sure, I'm going to export it. And we are good now, yeah. Okay, now the version that I'm going to be building and releasing tonight has sort of a proto controller attached to it. The console controller. It's not 100%. I'd say it's about 95%, and it's mostly geared toward the Xbox controller. Tomorrow, probably while, the Mac and Linux versions are uploading, I'm probably going to head out to Best Buy, and I'm going to get an Xbox controller so that we can... Laura, I didn't game during the 90s. I mean, literally during the entirety of the 1990s, I did not play video games, except for, I think... God, right. I remember playing Fallout 3, which I think came out in 1998. Fallout 2. Let me see. Fallout 2 release date. October 29th, 19... So basically in 1999. Because back then I was so poor, I would never be able to afford a game that just came out. So it's probably a few months after that. So literally, just the last couple of months in 1999. Because if you don't, the 90s were when controllers, the consoles really came into their own and surpassed, the arcades and such. Yeah, I was too poor. Yeah, through most of the 90s. Just was too poor. And I did try. Oh yeah, I forget. When I was at the Tony Rice Center, they got a new PC and they had me set it up for them. And it came with Prince of Persia, the original Prince of Persia for PC. I played that for a little bit, but I wasn't all that impressed. I went crazy. Well, I like the combos. They are so dry. Anyway. Yeah, I think we are good to go. Just make sure that we are not set on test mode. Yeah, we're good. Literally, this update, like I said, about 45% of the game is inaccessible because of these doors. And this will open up the game. This is, in its own way, sort of a major update. People are going to be... Well... Save games are going to be lost again. Lance made a change to it, and, in the long run, it's a good idea, but I just wish it had been done earlier. But, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take care of it. Let's see here. Yeah, this is a really annoying sound that's playing right now. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this is another case where everything is overlaid over each other and it's going crazy and just tossing everything. So much better. Just space it out there. Ooh, weird breathing. Oh, and that's another thing if you don't know. We mentioned this. Another problem that we had back in the day, or about a year ago, when the genocide in Gaza started, we literally just posted on our social media that it would be kind of neat and nice if Israel stopped killing children en masse and bombing hospitals and such. And we got an attack by people calling us Hamas supporters. We don't, as far as I understand, supporting Hamas and giving them money, that's Benjamin Netanyahu's thing. I understand he got them $9 billion. Anyway, I think I've done all I need to for this evening. Very sorry that our alt-right fans couldn't show up this evening, but I guess they found a new target and they moved on, which they always do because they always lose and they always have to move on to something else. Anyway, got that taken care of.